Hello and welcome to today's English grammar video. I'm Dania and today's topic focuses on past tenses. So I will be explaining all the past tenses in this video. But before starting with this lesson, I would like to ask if you have other topics that you want me to explain. If yes, please let me know in the comments below. And also, on the previous video, I focused on explaining all the present tenses like present simple, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. So if you have any questions regarding the present tenses, just click on the link that is shown on the video, alright? So yeah, let's start with today's topic. So when it comes to the past tenses, we will be focusing on past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. So let's have a look at the first part, which is the past simple. You need to use the past simple to speak about completed actions in the past. What does that mean? Let's have a look at this example to understand the idea better. Sarah read a book last night. Sarah read. So what does that mean? We are speaking about last night. What happened last night? She read a book. So that means we are speaking about something that happened and finished last night. And if you look at last night, this is basically a time expression. What do I mean by time expression? Time expression where you can tell the listener about the timing of the situation. So here we have she read the book last night. So in this case, we can easily understand that the situation happened last night. She read the book last night. So that is why using time expressions in your sentences is really important, because it will provide the listeners with more details about the timing of the situation. When did the situation happen? Last night, last week, last month, things like that. But when it comes to the past continuous, you need to use it to speak about something that was happening at specific time in the past. What does that mean? Let's have a look at this example. Sarah was reading a book at 5 p.m. yesterday. So this is what I meant by the specific timing, alright? 5 p.m. yesterday. At what time was she reading? At 5 p.m. yesterday. So in this case, we need to use ing. So Sarah was. Why are we using was? Because we have just one singular subject. And then we need to add ing. Sarah was reading. It is really important to use ing because I have a lot of students who don't use that, who simply say Sarah was read, which is wrong. And if you need more details about the use of past continuous or past simple or any of the tenses, let me know in the comments below, so I will create specific videos on them. Alright? Now let's move into the next one, which is the past perfect. So for the past perfect, you need to use it to speak about actions that are completed before another past action. What does that mean? Let's say you have two situations, like two actions happened and finished in the past. You need to ask yourself, which of these actions happened first? The action that happened first used past perfect on it. Alright, let's have a look at this example to understand the idea much better. Sarah had read 2 chapters before she went to bed. So if you look at this sentence, how many verbs have we got? 2 verbs. Had read and the second one went. But you need to ask yourself, which verb happened before the second one? The chapters that she read or going to bed? Well, of course, the chapters. She finished reading the chapters and after that she went to bed. So in this case you need to use had with the first action, with the chapters that she read. She had read 2 chapters. That means had has to be used on the action that happened before the second one. Alright? So this is how you can use had in sentences. Always ask yourself about the action that happened before the second one and then use had with it. Now let's have a look at the last tense, which is the past perfect continuous. You need to use the past perfect continuous to show the duration of an action before another past event. What does that mean? The duration of an action. What is actually the duration? The duration here tells you about the timing of the situation, like for how long it had been happening. So this is what I mean by the duration of an action. Now let's have a look at this example to understand the idea much better. Sarah had been reading for an hour before she fell asleep. So where is the past perfect continuous? Had been reading. Had been plus ing. And where is the duration of the action? An hour. An hour before she fell asleep. So before she fell asleep, this is the second action. Alright? So this is how you can use the past perfect continuous in sentences. Now let's have a look at the last examples to understand the past tenses quite well. Number 1, I visited my grandparents last weekend. We are speaking about the past simple. Why? Because we are talking about last weekend. The timing last weekend. And here we have I visited. I visited my grandparents last weekend. But if you need to provide more details, you can use the past continuous. I was visiting my grandparents when it started to rain. I was visiting. Was with ing. So this is really important. The third one, I had already visited my grandparents before my friend called. Past perfect. Where is the past perfect here? Had already visited. Why? Because if you look at the 2 verbs, we have visited and called. My friend called. But which one happened first? The visiting part happened before the calling, and in this case you need to use had with the visiting part. I had already visited my grandparents before my friend called. And the last one will be I had been visiting my grandparents for 2 hours. This is the past perfect continuous. Now let's have a look at she finished her homework before dinner. She was finishing her homework when the power went out. Was finishing ing. She had finished her homework before her brother came home. That means the finishing part happened before the arrival of her brother. And the last one, she had been finishing her homework for an hour when her friend called. Had been finishing. So this is basically everything that you need to know about the use of the past tenses. I really hope this explanation is very useful and very easy to understand. If you have any questions regarding what I have just explained, please let me know on the comments below. Also, if you want me to explain each of these tenses individually, let me know as well, so I will prepare them. As for the next video, I will be basically focusing on the future tenses. Alright, so in this case I wish you a wonderful day, and I will be looking forward to having you on the upcoming video. Have a great day once again, and take care. Bye bye.